The time by Sagicor Life is
7 o'clock.
Tonight in CVM News at 7, laid on the table of Parliament, Auditor General says some of his reports are yet to be made public. Kamina Johnson-Smith faces backlash again. The Foreign Minister denies evading foreign crisis questions. And death at a Nine-Night. Relative killed while visiting homeland.
Also this evening, new mayor targets public bathrooms. $25 million upgrades coming to Kingston. In the business report, Cygnus Real Estate plans dividend payout. While in sports, excitement on penultimate Issa Grace Kennedy Boys and Girls Championships. From Kingston, Jamaica, this is CVM News at 7 on TK Dawkins.
And I'm Curlin Brown. It's Friday, March 22, 2024. Thanks so much for joining us. Well, we begin with this update as strident Andrew Holness slammed the opposition on Thursday following its attack on the government's integrity.
Branding the Mark Golding-led PNP as flip-floppers with no authority on corruption. Ramon Gordon reports.
In a fiery speech before Parliament, Prime Minister Andrew Holness launched a scathing critique of the opposition, accusing them of trying to destabilize government processes through noise and distractions. Holness's latest condemnation comes mere days after an unprecedented government walkout following criticism over a potential conflict in the House. Holness says under his leadership, the country's done better on corruption.
Jamaica's corruption perception index is at the best level in our history and certainly better than under the former PNP administration. And me say so is Transparency International say so.
In his address, Holness minced no words, labeling the opposition's current political strategy as hype without substance.
They say they would increase the threshold to $3 million, and they make a bag of other promises. We still have not heard how they would finance them. Take the budget speeches. Go through them line by line. You all know there is nothing free. So you read through them and ask yourself, who is going to pay for them?
Holness further condemned what he perceives as alleged inconsistencies in opposition ranks, slamming the PNP for backtracking on critical issues.
One day, they agree with something. Then a few months later, if it is not political expedient, they change their minds. That is not leadership. We call that flip-flopping. The opposition supported and seconded the Speaker's nomination. Then they switched flip-floppers. The opposition initially proposed, and supported salary increases for politicians. Then they switched. Just for the record, as Prime Minister, I did not take any salary increase.
Holness defended his wife's achievements at the start of his contribution to the House. His government has in the last several hours accused the opposition of misogyny after Mark Golding pointed to a potential conflict with the House Speaker being married to the head of government. Holness stands firmly beside his wife, Juliet.
Juliet, an independent woman, a self-made woman, who has achieved all that she has on her own effort, in her own right.
Ramon Gordon for CVM News.
But in this developing story, focus remains on the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Juliet Holness, as the opposition People's National Party continues to call for the release of outstanding Auditor General reports. CVM News understands the reports were sent in a few months ago, but Parliament continues to send them back, arguing the special reports should instead first be sent to the related ministries. Here's Natalia Clark with more.
The Integrity Commission on Friday said all the reports it has sent to the nation's parliament have been tabled. The same cannot be said about reports from the Auditor General. CVM News has confirmed the Parliament is in possession of two special audited reports, one on the Financial Services Commission and the other on Tax Administration Jamaica. A financial statement assessment on the Civil Aviation Authority was also sent. Deviating from long-standing tradition to table reports as soon as they are submitted, former JLP Speaker of the House, Marisa Dalrymple-Philibert, last year said special audited reports will instead first go to the responsible minister, after which the report can be delayed for up to 2 months. This, she said, is being done under Section 30 of the Financial Administration and Audit Act. The current Speaker, Juliet Holness, has honored the changes. But the opposition People's National Party believes that this novel practice presents grave risks to good governance.
Section 30 of the FAA Act refers to two specific things. One, it refers to public bodies, and secondly, it refers to audits of accounts. Now, in this particular case, the two entities, TAJ and the Financial Services Commission, don't fall into that category. And secondly, these are not audits of accounts. So we believe that the Speaker is using an interpretation of the Act in the wrong way, because neither of the two reports sent by the Auditor General would fall into this category.
And even if it did, as Robinson explains, there is no need for the reports to be sent to the minister, given the Permanent Secretary would be aware of the details before the Auditor General sends the report to Parliament.
The Auditor General should not, nor any of her reports, should be subject to any minister or anybody else having it before the Parliament gets it. There's a very deliberate reason the Constitution was framed this way, so that reports go straight to the Parliament. In essence, what you're trying to do is nullify the independence of the Auditor General. And I believe it is a very dangerous precedent that the former Speaker, now the current Speaker, has continued on. And I believe it may involve going to the courts on adjudication on this matter.
The opposition member is also clarifying that the PNP is not concerned about the matter solely because the general election is brewing, but rather because the role of Parliament is being hampered by decisions he says the government is making unilaterally.
The role of the Parliament is to hold the executive accountable, right? So you do it in a number of ways. You have questions and answers to questions. You have reports which are done by the Integrity Commission and the Auditor General. They are tabled, they are brought to the Public Accounts Committee. We can ask people questions. Now, you can't do that in an environment when the reports are not tabled. So the level of accountability that the Parliament should be exercising over the executive is being nullified by the actions of the Speaker.
The Shadow Minister notes the matter should also be of peak interest for every Jamaican, as the Auditor General is tasked with dissecting how public funds move. There is also a belief that the Financial Services Commission report provides insight into the recently uncovered major fraud at Stocks and Securities Limited SSL. Natalia Clark, CVM News.
The country's Foreign Affairs Ministry is under fire after online footage showed Senator Kamina Johnson-Smith leaving an event Thursday, purportedly to avoid Palestine-related questions. But amid public scrutiny, Smith is refuting the claim. Ramon Gordon has this report.
Jamaica's Foreign Affairs Ministry is currently facing backlash following the release of a video online. The narrative surrounding the footage claims that Senator Kamina Johnson-Smith walked out on South Africa's Foreign Affairs Minister at an event late Thursday, allegedly to evade answering questions on Palestine. A senior representative from the Left Alliance for National Democracy and Socialism, LANS-JA, posted the clip to social media yesterday while hurling other allegations. It drew ire online.
We need a clear position from this government on its stance on the genocide in Gaza,
said one user.
Shameful and cowardly behavior,
said another. But in the hours preceding the backlash, Minister Smith has moved to rubbish claims she abandoned the meeting. In a post to X early Friday, the Foreign Affairs Minister said,
I note an unfortunate video circulating that misrepresents the circumstances at a lecture event. The event was scheduled to end at 8, and I had a CARICOM meeting on Haiti that was set to accommodate my participation in that event. I advised Minister Pandor and the moderator, waited as long as I could, but then had to go. Permanent Secretary and Chief Technical Director of the Ministry remained in the event that any questions were posed which required a response from GOJ, and I am advised that none were.
Minister Smith also reshared a release from January outlining Jamaica's support for a two-state resolution in West Asia. Jamaica's Foreign Affairs Ministry has come under fire in recent months over its relationship with Israel, a state currently plundering Palestine. Photos with the new Israeli ambassador at Jamaica's recently concluded diplomatic days caused similar outrage. Over 30,000 Palestinians, most of whom were women and children, have been killed in the Gaza Strip. South Africa has condemned the murders by recalling its ambassador to Israel and withdrawing all diplomats from Israel's capital, Tel Aviv. South Africa also brought a case before the International Court of Justice, charging that Israel is committing atrocities. Ramon Gordon for CVM News.
Police Commissioner Dr. Kevin Blake is shaking things in his first week in office. CVM News understands there were jitters within the ranks of the Jamaica Constabulary Force this afternoon following the announcement of new senior appointments. Assistant Commissioner of Police ACP Andrew Lewis's assignment to the Crime and Security portfolio for a short while caused some panic as it was felt Deputy Commissioner Fitz Bailey was being replaced. We can, however, confirm DCP Bailey still heads the Crime and Security portfolio. He was interviewed for the role of Commissioner, which eventually went to Dr. Blake. Now, the other changes published in the JCF's weekly force orders include DCP Clifford Blake to the Inspectorate Professional Standards Oversight Bureau, IPROB, ACP Warren Clark to the Strategic Operations Portfolio, ACP Karina Powellhood to Force Development and Logistics, ACP Clifford Chambers heads to the Office of the Commissioner of Police, ACP Calvin Allen heads to the Area 3 headquarters, SSP Glenford Miller will go to the Area 1 headquarters, SSP Paulette Green to Area 4 headquarters, and SSP Kirk Ricketts, he heads to the Security Intelligence Branch, SIB. Those assignments will take effect on April 2. Do stay with us for more CVM News at 7 right after this.
Could even win a brand new car. Take a ready cash loan of $80,000 or more between February 19 and April 18, and you'll be automatically entered for a chance to win cash, a TCL Smart TV, 880 bike, or a 2024 Honda Creta. Big money move.
Authorized under Section 58(3) of the Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Act.
Courts ready cash, ready when you are. Big money move.
Conditions apply.
My time, my lunch, my box. Pizza Hut, say we at it again. My box melts, that are the new trend. Cheese cinnamon and our breadsticks, and a 20-ounce Pepsi. All of that. Pizza Hut, my box melts. Get one order of delicious melts, 4 cheese sticks, cine sticks, or breadsticks, and a 20-ounce Pepsi, starting at $1,300. Available in meat lovers, buffalo chicken, pepperoni and cheese, and served with dipping sauces. Pizza Hut, my box melts. Crispy, cheesy, loaded. Pizza Hut, now that's delivering.
Go crazy for this offer from Flow. Get a free Samsung phone and earbuds when you sign up for Flow Yard and Road for the special price of $4,999 plus GCT. Free is all the craze. This crazy offer won't last long. Visit discoverflow.co or your nearest Flow store for more info. Conditions apply.
Welcome back to CVM News at 7. Thanks for staying with us. The Clarendon police are probing the circumstances that led to the death of one man and left 2 others injured on the Tollgate Main Road Thursday evening. All this during an event to remember the life of another. Celine Campbell recounts how the events unfolded.
Just 9 days ago, a Clarendon family was thrown into grief following the death of a loved one. Michael Bassier, a 59-year-old citizen of the United Kingdom who traveled to Jamaica for his brother's death, was among those gathered on Thursday night at a wake for their loved one when another tragedy struck, snuffing out his life.
About 8:45 p.m. here along the Tollgate Main Road, a 9-night was in progress when gunmen would have shot and injured 3 persons. One has since succumbed.
The other 2 men remain in hospital in a stable condition. Head of the Clarendon Police, Superintendent Carlos Russell, says they are yet to identify a motive for the killings. However, investigations are ongoing. He is now urging the public to tell them what they know.
Our detectives are on the scene and they are interviewing persons. So hopefully we will be able to give more information at a later date. We're asking anyone who has any information about the perpetrators of this murder to contact the Clarendon Police.
As at March 16, Clarendon recorded 12 murders, 10 fewer than the corresponding period last year. Celine Campbell for CVM News.
A 40-year-old woman living with her spouse and child is now struggling to make ends meet while caring for her mother, who has been ailing since 2022. Now, as Trisha Gay Kelly reports, most of their other close relatives have opted out of lending a hand.
A stroke patient, 1 daughter assisting, and a 1-bedroom structure that cannot house Norma Brown, who is severely ill after suffering a stroke in 2022. The woman, now in her late 60s, hails from New Forest, Manchester. Though in close proximity to her daughter Alyssa, Brown lives in a former chicken coop. And despite it being repurposed into a zinc shack, it's now evidence of Scott's struggle to take care of her ailing mother.
I used to work, that it could have helped her a little easier, but me have to stop work to take care of her because she get down really poorly and she don't have nobody to stay with her. Even when she live, me need little help, but little bed things and all of them, let's look at something that would really more necessary because me not have it.
Brown had 5 children, 3 boys, 2 girls. However, all 3 sons died, leaving her 2 daughters behind, one of whom is allegedly unwilling to assist. Alyssa says taking care of her mother was one thing, but all that soon changed for the worse the last year.
While I've been here looking after her, she have 2 other minor strokes that twist him out and the hand, and he look as if he weakened the spine or somewhere down the line, so she unable to communicate, unable to walk and do anything for herself. So she do everything on herself.
Although neighbors sometimes lend a helping hand, it is not enough. Newly minted councillor for the Alligator Pond Division, Omar Robinson, who was unaware of Brown's plight, says he has already negotiated with donors to partner in creating a program to fund various aspects of the community, including welfare.
I've already started to engage possible donors to see how best we can, alleviate some of these situations or to meet some persons halfway. Persons out there need help. I can tell you, people really need help.
Brown's brother Ralph is also severely ill. Councillor Robinson, moved by the story, says he'll find a way to assist. He's also urging others to lend their support where possible. Trisha Gay Kelly, CVM News.
And elsewhere, the people of Cassia Park in St. Andrew are calling on the authorities to permanently remedy an ongoing sewage problem that has been plaguing them for years. More from Ronaldo Adams.
Residents in Cassia Park, St. Andrew are expressing frustration over persistent sewage leaks in their community. Their discontent is worsened by the eyesore and the foul odor accompanied by associated health hazards.
Sometimes you have kids coming from school and they have to be skipping through the sewage water. Sometimes you have people getting splashed up, and sometimes those the drivers are, sometimes they come in, they're speeding also. So, you know, say, we need it to be rectified. You understand? We need it, and the smell is very unbearable sometimes.
Another resident suggests that there might be an underlying issue on the ground as the problem resurfaces shortly after repairs are made.
It's not something you can just tear away and fix. It seems as if you have some old long time pipe run underground, the metal pipes, and they're rotting. So you have to go get an engineer to take the pipes, dig it up, and fix it, because it fixes a month and it starts again.
Another resident is urging the authorities to address the problem once and for all.
From last week, me come on, me live down Fairlane Drive, and when me come up Sunday morning, that's how the water run. And up till now, the water run until now, brother. The water you not go for people health, not for nobody at all. The government need to do something about this, because I saw them fix it, I saw the problem occur. The problem come back same way, so they need to find out where the water come from.
Up to news time, several calls placed to the National Works Agency's corporate communications head, Stephen Shaw, went unanswered. Ronaldo Adams for CVM News.
CVM News at 7 will be right back with the business segment.
You renew your road license yet?
Babes, the road have me away. I can't even find time, but you know money for me.
Because see, I shall out them money the back for late fee and record fee when you sit down make your road license expire upon you.
Well, transport authority so we can apply online, and that may go to now.
Operators of public passenger vehicles and commercial carriers, renew your road licenses now. A message from the Transport Authority. Call us 876-926-8912.
Savings, savings, savings! It's a carnival of savings at home and things. Massive savings on new arrivals of Spanish and Brazilian tiles, mosaics, bathroom fixtures and faucets, windows, doors, and home decor that will make it say, oh gosh! The home and things carnival of savings deals. So wait! Home and things preferred customers who know savings turn up loud. March down to Old Hope Road and Constant Spring Road. It's the home and things carnival of savings.
Up and make we steam it. Fresh so me need it. Tilapia a real fish. Cook it up and make we roast it. Farm fresh so me need it. Tilapia a real fish. Grow smart at the best part. Food for thought so me have to eat smart. Easy cash, fully net. A tilapia so you don't know what's next. Cook it up and make we fry it. Fresh so me need it. Tilapia a real fish. Bring home the best in freshwater fish. High content of vitamin B3, protein and potassium. Tilapia, simple, healthy, delicious.
And we welcome you back now with the business news, the business report with Andrew Lately.
In the business report today, after 5 years of operation in Jamaica, Cygnus Real Estate Finance, SRF, is signaling to shareholders that returns could be on the horizon.
Between 18 to 24 months construction period on average, another 6 to 12 months to exit that asset, meaning a sell the unit, etc. That gives us a 3-year cycle. We are basically there now, and that will put us in a position to harvest, so we have cash to satisfy the demand of a dividend in some time thereafter.
Senior Vice President and Head of Investment Banking Gregory Samuels disclosed the company has delivered strong performance and is now at a point where it can give back.
Since our inception in August 2019, there's never a single year that SRF has failed to deliver profitability. I think Beres mentioned it. The first year, we would have delivered over 300 million. We went up to over $1 billion in the following year. And of course, the profit will fluctuate because of the nature of the business. We're in construction.
In terms of the strategy going forward, the company says it is laser focused on building partnerships.
Joint venture is going to be one of the primary means that we push SRF in terms of executing and identifying new projects where somebody have the land. I don't want to buy the land, man, right? Let's enter into a partnership and execute.
Now, amid plans to increase the national minimum wage starting June 1, Chartered Accountant Alison Peart is calling on the government to consider a livable wage. She was speaking on CVM TV's budget debate discussion show on Thursday.
You look around the country and I see the prices for homes, and I don't know how people can afford to buy some of the homes. So when you talk about a livable wage in Jamaica, we really need to have a come to Jesus moment in terms of what can employers afford, what can the consumers afford.
Economist Keenan Faulkner agrees. He proposed a formula which can be used to determine a livable wage.
I would suggest really the creation of an index that takes into account different areas of living, like a basket, just like you would calculate inflation. But you have a basket that would now take into account living expenses, food, other utilities, recreation, and so on. Try and find a decent average, find the spatial differentiations between urban and rural, and find out what it really does cost on average to live in certain areas.
And that was your business report. I'm Andrew Laidley.
Date nights at home or making fun family meals. Nothing adds more flavor than a recipe for togetherness. Barilla, true Italian pasta made from durum wheat. Barilla always cooks al dente. Perfection every time. Looking for healthier options? Try our Barilla gluten-free spaghetti and Barilla whole wheat penny pasta today. Barilla, a sign of love. Available in stores island-wide. Distributed by Mass Distribution.
What would you do for the love of pizza? Pull out a grill and barbecue your own chicken for the perfect smoky, saucy, sweet barbecue flavor? Nah, you just call and collect. Or get delivery from Pizza Hut for the perfect barbecue chicken goodness.
Pizza Hut, yeah, we know pizza. Pizza Hut, barbecue chicken pizza. Yeah. Pizza Hut, full of sauce, well smoky, the best barbecue
we know
chicken
pizza. It's literally in our name.
Yes, you heard right. CVM Sunrise now has its own YouTube channel. Catch up with the morning antics of our hosts, Mrs. Kitty, Dennis Brooks, Tammy Chin Mitchell, and IT Ellis. Subscribe now to see it happen.
Life only passes by once, so be sure to fill it with quality of life. Get out there with your dog and add more life to life. Enjoy each minute, each second, each moment. That's quality of life. And when everything's said and done, you will be happy. You gave them dog chow throughout their life. With quality nutrition for a long and healthy life, you can enjoy to the fullest together. Purina Dog Chow.